Hello and welcome to the show. I'm James Garland. It's not really a show, just a guy talking to his iPhone, and my name's not important. So I'm gonna. I've got a cup of tea. Look, I made a cup of tea. So it's almost 2 o'clock in the morning, and I can't sleep. I haven't slept for months. Well, I haven't slept in the night time for months, and you can see the bags under my eyes really bad now. Anyway, what I wanted to talk about was another TV show which I've started watching and I enjoy. Was a camera of theirs. And this time, I've actually done a bit of research. Can you believe it? It's not even research, it's just stuff I took off Wikipedia and wrote it down in like 5 seconds. It's a TV sitcom called Modern Family. And it's, I don't know, have you heard of it? I quite like it, so I'll just explain what it's about. It's written and produced by Christopher Lloyd and Stephen Levitan. I'm just reading from my paper. Yeah, Christopher Lloyd and Stephen Levitan are the producers and the writers, directors, whatever. They're in charge of the whole fucking thing. And this is a reason why I had to write down shit on a piece of paper, because the characters of the show, there's fucking loads. Okay, here are the actors and actresses' real life names. Okay, Ed O'Neill, Sophia Varaga, Julie Bowen, Ty Burrell, Jesse Tyler Ferguson, Eric Stonestreet, Sarah Hyland, Ariel Winter. Oh god, I don't know what I wrote there. Sorry. Rico Rodriguez. We don't have that many Latino people in our country, so I'm not used to saying Rodriguez. So I think that's a great name, great people. Aubrey and God, I should have practiced this, but I don't practice shit. Aubrey Anderson Emmons, and I think the person I left out was. I can't even fucking read it. Well, I can, but it doesn't make sense. This person's last name's Gould. So you're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 actors and actresses all together. The show is 5 seasons long, with 102 episodes altogether. The distributor, which means of people who broadcast it on TV, very powerful people, organisation, business, whatever, distributed by 20th Century. It debuted on ABC on the 23rd of September 2009 and basically filmed in the style of a mockumentary in LA and involves 3 families, hence why there's such a large cast of 12. So as you're probably aware, you're probably not aware, but I really like mockumentaries a lot, because to me they feel real. There's no over-the-top shite and crazy shouting and doing like weird faces like that and waving your arms around. I hate that. And that's what they do in another show called It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. That is a really great show. It makes me laugh sometimes. Well, it makes me laugh, but I just can't stand their constant high-pitched whining and waving of their hands. That's cheap laughter bullshit. That should be confined to Friends. Okay, back to Modern Family. Basically, the plot is there's some guy called Jay Pritchett. He looks like he's in his late 50s. He's married a much younger woman called Gloria. She's like a feisty Colombian woman, and she has a son from another man. His name is Manny, and he's like 5. So they're the main characters really. The 50-year-old, well, I'm guessing he's in his 50s, Jay, and Gloria and Manny. Jay is, I don't know what he does actually. I haven't watched that many episodes, but he's like a no-nonsense, old-fashioned bloke guy, doesn't fuck around, old school kind of person. Gloria, she's very young. She's younger than Jay's actual biological son and daughter. Yeah, Gloria is like I say, she's a Latina. She's very feisty, hot-tempered, or not hot-tempered, but you know what I'm trying to say. And Manny's he's starting high school, I think. He's starting high school, something like that. Very young, and he's quite eccentric, but nothing too out there. He's very proud of his Colombian heritage, and of course his stepfather is a white American man. So you've got that kind of contrast there that can bring interesting clashes. The son's quite, for his very young age, he's quite aware of things, has good insight into what's going on around him. You know, he's not like a normal child. He's quite smart. The way he comes out with shit is quite interesting. And he's very proud of his heritage, which his mum encourages. And that proves, you know, he wore a poncho to his first day of school, and Jay, his stepfather, actually talked him out of wearing the poncho because he said he looked ridiculous. So in the long term, he was thinking about his son's, you know, well-being in high school. Alright, so that's Jay and his wife Gloria and their stepson Manny. So Jay has, I mentioned he has a daughter and a son. His daughter is called Claire Pritchett. She's married to someone called Phil Dunphy. Claire is it's just your standard American middle-class white woman. She's doesn't take crap, and she's quite stern. Phil, her husband Phil is he's like one of these wannabe cool dads. They've got 3 kids, and he's extremely eccentric, very childish, what some people would call a man-child. He actually really reminds me a lot of Michael Scott from The Office, the way he acts. His style of humour. He's very, you know, she's kind of like the straight guy, and he's like the buffoon, and he's oblivious to everything that goes on around him. People mocking him. He's not aware of how kind of pathetic he is in not just to the viewer but also to his wife, Claire. They have 2 teenage. Anyway, they've got. I don't think they're all teenagers, but anyway, they've got daughter Hayley and Alex, and a son called Luke. Hayley's the eldest. She's like a teenager, very early teens. She's kind of like you know, like a stereotypical airhead, kind of ditzy, just all about looks and shit like that. Whereas Alex, who's a bit younger than her, is very book smart, very interested in education and attaining, you know, knowledge and going to university and stuff like that. It's very grounded and centred that way. And Luke, the very young boy, he looks like he's about 6 or 8 or something. He's extremely, it's kind of like, you know, he's like, they kind of make him out to be a bit stupid, a bit, maybe, you could say retarded. You know, I'm using that term very loosely. Like, the last episode I saw yesterday, I've only seen about 5 episodes, but he had to do a diary during the summertime, and he only done 2 days. Well, he only done 1 day, and the date for the next day, and didn't complete it. And he just wrote for day 1 that he found a stick in the garden, and that he liked the stick because he didn't even say why. And then his father, Phil, goes, "Oh yeah, that stick was really good. It was like a gun. It was shaped like a gun." So yeah, that's. Oh, sorry. Oh my God, that's not even it. There's another family. There's 3 families. I've only done 2. Right, so we've done Jay's daughter and her family. Now we're going to do Jay's son, Mitchell, and his homosexual partner. Mitchell was, I don't know if he's in a civil partnership with Cameron, but they're together and they live together, and they have adopted a Vietnamese girl called Lily. She's a baby, by the way. And I think, yeah, the relationship of these two is very funny, especially Cameron. Mitchell is kind of like, the neurotic one who worries and stuff, and Cameron's the very camp and very... I mean, they're both camp, but he's more camper and outlandish and out there with... He's just extremely flamboyant. And in the show, he's played by... The actor who plays him is overweight, probably clinically obese, and they make jokes about that, and like how he got that big suddenly because he started comfort eating due to some tragic thing. So yeah, those are the three families. All Jay's offspring, really. And each family has their own kind of shtick. Jay and Gloria kind of at odds with each other. There's the age gap, all the conflicts that are caused by that age gap, and the young son, who's not biologically Jay's. So they have their little thing, but they always get it together at the end of the show, obviously. Manny's always going on about how great his father is, but he doesn't actually know his father's kind of like a gambling drunkard or something. Jay actually hides that fact at his own cost. Like, Manny will say, "Oh, you're not as cool as my dad." Jay will make a lie about why his dad couldn't turn up to take Manny to Disneyland. He won't tell him the truth. Claire and Phil. Claire, she's pretty standard, but Phil's where the real comedy is. He really does remind me of Michael Scott, and they work very well together. There's a chemistry there of her being normal and him being weird. They bounce off each other very well to make the jokes work. Mitchell and Cameron, gay couple, maybe even in a civil partnership. It's funny because, gay liberation and gay civil rights nowadays, and they've adopted a child as well, so it's interesting to see society, modern society, accepting that, which was only a few years ago probably frowned upon, definitely is still frowned upon today, but less so than in the past. And I guess that's why they called it Modern Family, because it's a big family with lots of... It's not mainstream, is it? It's, modern families now, we all have our things. No families are all alike, and on TV they are most of the time. On this show they purposely go out their way to not be like that, to show the other side of what life is like, what families are. Some families are gonna have old men with young Latina women. People think she's a gold digger, wondering why she's with him. And then the gay couple. Families will have gay people, and they will have their own couples and stuff. Sorry, and they will be in couples and have kids now. So it's just it's a nice snapshot of where we are today. At first, I'm doing the old thing where I don't like something. At first, I wasn't really into it, but I always forced myself. From now on, ever since I ever since I didn't give Breaking Bad the entire chance I should have given it years ago, I now make sure that I at least watch one episode of something, from start to finish, before I make a judgment, and in fact I'll watch several episodes before I make a judgment, like I've done with Modern Family and Sunny in Philly. I think my next video will be about Sunny in Philly. Unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, no one gives a fuck what I think, but the show is good, but there's some things there that just piss me off too much, and I can't forgive it for that, for what it does. I mentioned the whininess of the characters. Oh my god, how they always accumulate in the bar that they own. Apparently, it takes 3 of them to own this one bar that's always empty. It's a fucking shithole of a bar. It's very, derelict and no customers. So that annoys me as well. But anyway, I'll go into it in more detail in the next video. When it's 2 o'clock in the morning, I've got no one to talk to, and I don't want to watch TV because I've actually got a massive headache that encapsulates my entire cranium, upper cranium. Yeah, the tea bag's kind of split, so I was drinking the grains of the actual tea, the tea leaves. So anyway, that was Modern Family. Apparently it's in its 5th season. So if you have Netflix or whatever, ABC, don't even know if that's an actual channel pay-per-view thingy, probably is. If you haven't watched it, maybe it sounds like your cup of tea. Or maybe I didn't do any justice whatsoever. So, thanks for watching my show. Turn off.